Hi there, in this video we're going to learn about word problems with proportions. Question 1. Two friends take a bicycle trip. Ricky rides 10 miles in 0.75 of an hour. So in other words, 0.75 hours, I'm going to say. Victoria rides 15 miles in 1.25 hours. Which bicycle rider has the slower rate? So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose whether to put miles or hours, top or bottom. So I'm going to do miles per hour. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to do 10 miles over 0.75 hours. And then I'm going to do, here it says Victoria rides 15 miles in 1.25 hours. So I'm going to do 15 miles over 1.25. Then it says which bicycle rider has a slower rate. So just divide those two, 10 divided by 0.75, and you get 13.3 miles per hour. Here you do 15 divided by 1.25, and you get 12 miles per hour. Which one has a slower rate? Well, this one does, because this one only goes 12 miles an hour. This one goes 13.3 miles an hour. Here's question 2. Your team scores 2 runs in the first 3 innings of a 9-inning baseball game. If your team continues to score at that rate, how many runs will it score in the game? So first off, there's 2 runs in the first 3 innings of a 9-inning baseball game. So it's 2 runs in 3 innings, right? And then it says if your team continues at that to score at that rate, how many runs will it score in the game? So a game, here it says 9 innings. So we're trying to figure out how many runs, so X number of runs in 9 innings. So once you get here, you just solve your proportion. 2 times 9 equals 3 times X. So 2 times 9 is 18 equals 3X. Solve for X now. Divide both sides by 3, and you will get your X to be 6. Just pay attention here when you set up your proportions. Notice I have runs and innings. Runs and innings. They're both along the same. So like if you have runs at the top, then you have innings on the bottom. These two don't enter. As long as you have runs in the top left, then you need to have runs in the top right. If you have innings in the top or the bottom left, then you need to have innings in the bottom right. They need to align. All right, question 3. A quality control inspector found 4 defective cell phones out of 480. At that rate, how many defective cell phones would there be out of 24,000? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put defective cell phones over the total cell phones. So there were 4 defective over 480 phones. So is equal to how many defective over 24,000 is our total. Then I'm going to just cross multiply. 4 times 2400 equals 480x. So now I'm going to do 4 times 2400 to get 9600 is equal to 480x. Divide both sides by 480, and you get x to be 20. So there would be 20 defective cell phones out of 24,000 phones. Question 4. 8 ounces of orange juice contains 120 calories. About how many calories are in 12 ounces of orange juice? Well, I have 8 ounces and 120 calories equals 12 ounces over X calories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cross multiply. So 8X is equal to 120 times 12. And then I'm going to do 120 times 12 gets me 1440. And I'm going to divide both sides by 8 in order to get X by itself. And when I do 1440 divided by 8, I end up getting 180 ounces. So, I should have wrote 180 calories. So in other words, there are 12 ounces in 180 calories. Question 5. At the copy store, 15 copies cost 75 cents. You need 50 copies. About how much will they cost? So if it's 50 copies for 75 cents, or $0.75 if you want to think of it like that, you need copies over dollars on this side as well. So if it's 15 copies over 0.75, how much would it be for 50 copies? So 50 is going to go at the top. Notice copies and copies, dollars, dollars. Now you're going to cross multiply. 50 times 0.75 equals 15x. And now you just solve. So 15x equals 37.5. Divide both sides by 15 to get x alone. You get x to be $2.50. So here are some concluding thoughts. First, you need to make sure you cross multiply. Then you need to divide both sides to get the variable by itself. And then you solve. All right, I hope you learned how to solve word problems with proportions.